The Chicago Sky are one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen. And today, their coach literally just waved the white flag. He quit. He literally just said, Phoenix Mercury, destroy us even more than you're destroying us right now. He basically benched all of his starters not long into the third quarter, just gave up.
Imagine tuning in to watch a basketball game and accidentally stumbling into a live comedy roast starring the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso benched like it's open mic night, while the Phoenix Mercury turned the court into their personal highlight reel. Was this a game or a team-building exercise for Phoenix? Because the Sky clearly left their will to compete in the locker room. Buckle up, we're unpacking the chaos, the confusion, and the epic collapse you couldn't script if you tried.
At this point, I believe in the second quarter, at halftime, they had said that Camila Cardoso had scored 17 points. I believe she was Chicago Sky's leading scorer of the game. Again, that's not always a good thing. I love Camila down. But when you have her as the leading scorer, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm gonna put it out there. If you have Camila Cardoso or Angel Reese as being the leading scorer for our team, for Chicago Sky, just know it's a wrap. It's a wrap for us, okay? At this point, Tyler Marsh, okay, this might sound harsh, but I believe at this point he needs to be fired, along with many other players for our Chicago Sky. It's not just Tyler Marsh. It's not just a coaching issue. It's also a player issue.
Poor Angel. She came into the league with the swagger of a pre-printed MVP acceptance speech, walked in like the cameras were already rolling for her victory documentary, and yet, here we are, benched, again. Not once, not twice, but now at the point where the bench cushion probably has an indentation shaped like her. It's not even a surprise anymore.
Wow. Backups had 28 points in the fourth quarter, so they came in and played ball. But you gotta play better than that. And I don't know what it is. Is it Tyler Marsh? Is it the roster? But when you look at Cardoso, she was the leading scorer. She had 17 points, I think it was. And when she's your leading scorer, you're in trouble.
The real shock would be if she actually cracked the starting lineup without divine intervention or someone's sudden case of food poisoning. Angel Reese, the self-declared queen of the league before ever earning the crown, has somehow managed to turn being benched into a performance art. She's the poster child of "I got this" energy, with absolutely none of the on-court follow-through.
The Chicago Sky are 3-9 for the season, and it's no secret. Tyler knows it. Everyone knows it. This is bad. As a person who covers the Sky daily, I'm going to give you my best version of this big picture. Now, Coach Tyler Marsh is right. These women are working hard. They come in every day. They're trying to figure it out. I know no one is content. That part is true. But what is also true is that this roster, unfortunately, was not built for success. With Courtney Vandersloot going down with the ACL injury, I just don't know how the Sky are going to weather this.
And we're not talking about a little slump. We're talking full-fledged statistical collapse. The kind of performance that makes you want to reboot the simulation just to see if the universe glitched. Meanwhile, Coach Tyler Marsh is looking like a man who's reading the terms and conditions of his future unemployment. Every game, he shows up like he's coaching for his rent, only to be served a flaming hot disaster with a side of memes.
Hello, my Fly Happy family. It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. We have to talk about Tyler Marsh, family. We have to talk about Tyler Marsh and this one, man, releasing a crazy statement in the post-game interview. We're about to get into it, but before we do that, y'all make sure y'all hit the thumbs up for your boy if you like the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 26.5, so if you can help me out with that, I highly appreciate it. And don't forget to get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about this. Let's get it. All right, so there's this article right here, man, released. Talking about Chicago Sky coach sends strong Angel Reese message after loss to Indiana Fever.
And you better believe those L's the Sky are stacking aren't just courtesy of bad luck. They're earning them wholesale, and Angel's right there helping hand out the coupons. Because when your self-branding outpaces your stat line by a country mile, there's a problem. We've said it once already. They're about themselves and their brand, not the team or the league. Angel's court presence feels like a promo reel for a docuseries no one greenlit, and the games, just the background noise. You know things are bad when the coach is juggling rotations like a circus act and Angel still can't land in the starting five. It's not just a coaching decision, it's a scoreboard plea. The numbers are screaming, and the film doesn't lie. But Angel's still out here acting like her jersey should be in the rafters instead of just folded on the sideline. The irony is, she's doing more media work than basketball. If press conferences awarded points, she'd be in the MVP conversation. Unfortunately for Angel, talking about being that girl doesn't translate into buckets. And it's not like she's coming off the bench to deliver secret sauce. No, she's clocking in with missed assignments, defensive lapses, and vibes. All vibes.
Angel Reese got completely exposed today, man. Y'all see how she only took one shot today versus the Mercury and only had 2 rebounds? This goes to show she can't get all those rebounds without taking hella shots, getting her own misses, man. You've been completely exposed today, bricklaying sloth. Completely. When you ain't taking all these shots and missing all these goddamn layups and shit, you can't get your rebounds. So your rebounds go down.
And that would be tolerable, maybe even forgivable, if the Chicago Sky weren't circling the drain. But they are. The team is collapsing faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. And Coach Marsh, he's stuck trying to glue it all together with duct tape and prayer beads. You can see the resignation in his eyes. That's not focus, it's full-on existential dread. He knows the Wolves are at the door, and they're wearing Sky jerseys. But Angel's biggest contribution so far? Well, that would be the drama. Because if you thought this season was about winning, you must have missed the memo. The brand is the real product here. The court is just the stage. And what's performance without a little chaos? It's no longer about putting the team on your back. It's about putting your face on a t-shirt and selling it for $40, 0 cents. Angel's living proof that the era of team-first mentality has been shoved into a dusty closet in favor of solo acts and camera-ready tantrums. It's less we over me and more me, myself, and I, and maybe a podcast appearance. Let's not pretend this is some isolated occurrence either. She's been benched enough times that the Pinewood is practically monogrammed, and each time the excuses get flimsier. Fatigue, matchup problems, defensive strategy, just say it. She's not playing well. You don't keep your supposed franchise player on the sidelines during a must-win game unless she's playing like she's allergic to rebounds and allergic to accountability.
They need more balance. I keep screaming that Chicago need much more balance. You know, should Tyler Marsh be fired? I don't know, but he got to come up with some answers. And they do have a roster problem. They do have a roster problem because what is it? Player issue. We looking at Rebecca Allen had 2 points in 17 minutes, and Haley Van Lith had 4 points in 21 minutes.
And that's what makes this whole situation feel like a sitcom. Every episode brings a new benching, a new viral moment, a fresh quote about how misunderstood she is, and somehow, no improvement. At some point, even the most loyal fans start wondering if she's really about this basketball life, or if the league was just another stop on the Influencer World Tour. Meanwhile, Camila Cardoso is sitting nearby, probably wondering if she transferred into the wrong reality show. She came to ball, not guest star on the Angel Reese Chronicles, and if there's any hope left for Chicago to not become a full-blown meme factory, they might want to consider which players are here to grind and which ones are just here for the cameras. The vibe on the bench says it all. Angel doesn't look frustrated or determined, she looks unbothered. Like it's not her problem the team is melting down on national television. And maybe it's not, if we're being real. Maybe she checked out already, mentally preparing for her next brand collab or headline moment, because being seen is more important than being effective, and winning? Well, that's optional. But Coach Marsh doesn't have the luxury of optional. His job's basically hanging by a single frayed thread. Every time the Sky get blown out, it's another nail in his coaching coffin. And every time Angel fails to show up on both ends of the court, that nail gets hammered in a little deeper.
So I had to spin the block. Tyler Marsh, it's time to go. You still have no game plan for the Chicago Sky. And it seems like the games where you're only running offense through Camila and you don't have offense at least through somebody else is no plan for that. They're getting blown out extremely bad. I don't understand it. Not to mention, I'm trying to I've noticed also a lot of the pre-games and post-game interviews where the media will ask you about Angel. Like, let's just say today in specific. One of the people asked you during halftime or while you was on the court, and they asked you why Angel had no field goal attempts. Your response was, well, everybody has to be aggressive.
Still, here she is, commanding more media attention than actual wins. The team could be down by 20, and the broadcast is zooming in on Angel's reaction like she's directing the whole mess from the sidelines. And maybe she is in a way, just not in the way a star should be. This isn't hate, this is reality. She came in with all the noise, all the hype, all the viral momentum, and now she's disappearing in real time. Not even playing enough minutes to make an impact, yet somehow always the headline. That's the new age paradox of celebrity athletes. Performance optional, branding mandatory. And the league? Well, they're in a bind. They need stars. They need ticket sales. But they also need actual basketball. And right now, Angel's playing one side of that equation like a pro, while ghosting the other like it's beneath her. The Chicago Sky didn't sign up for this influencer experiment. They needed a player who could lead, inspire, dominate, not one who's constantly trending for everything but her jump shot. As the losses pile up, so does the scrutiny. And there's only so long a player can keep spinning the "I'm still adjusting" narrative before people start checking the box score and realizing there's not much adjusting happening. The learning curve is now a straight line, and it's pointing straight to the bench. So while the Sky fumble their way through another forgettable loss and Coach Marsh paces the sideline like a man searching for a reset button on life, Angel Reese sits benched, branded, and bewilderingly detached.
Yeah, I think that we got a couple players that are banged up, so we want to be mindful of minutes. I think that when the game got out of hand there midway through the third, for us it was more preservation at that point. And players were almost at their limit anyway, being on a back-to-back, and so we wanted to be mindful of that. And if the game wasn't as out of hand, then maybe it would have looked different. But we got to be healthy and ready to go into Atlanta tomorrow. We got 3 games in 4 days with LA on that following Tuesday. So we got to be mindful of having healthy bodies so that we can give as good an effort as we can going into tomorrow.
And the fans, they're not dumb. They see it. They feel it. The energy's off. The effort's questionable. And the results speak louder than any Instagram caption ever could. At this point, it's not about waiting for her to rise. It's about wondering if she even wants to. Because if this season's taught us anything, it's that clout doesn't box out, likes don't rebound, and no amount of media buzz can cover up a missing stat sheet. Angel might be chasing MVP vibes, but right now she's stuck starring in a role nobody asked for. Benched and branded, the Angel Reese story. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Angel Reese decided to level up. But not in the gym, not in film study, and definitely not on defense. No, she's grinding on social media like the season depends on retweets and Instagram stories. If hustle points were awarded for how fast someone could refresh the All-Star voting page, she'd be averaging a triple-double. Angel's playing a different sport entirely. She's not chasing wins, she's chasing Wi-Fi bars. While the Sky crumble like week-old toast, Angel's energy is laser-focused on crafting perfect captions, curating just the right emojis, and making sure her latest tunnel walk gets more likes than her team has points. Because when in doubt, post it out. Forget locking in on schemes or reviewing game tape. Angel's scrolling through filters faster than she runs back on defense. At this rate, her phone's screen time is the only stat trending upward.
So, also, Angel Reese, not gonna hate. She got a triple-double on 28% shooting. She went 2 for 7 for the field. She shot 7 free throws. She had 10 points or 11 points, something like that. But honestly, if I was the Sky, that would be the most Angel Reese would shoot a game, is about 7 shots.
Her all-star campaign looks more like a TikTok marketing strategy than a basketball resume. You'd think she was running for mayor of Instagram, not trying to earn a spot among the league's elite. But the reality is glaring. She's more concerned with engagement metrics than plus-minus stats. While veterans are fighting tooth and nail for votes with grit and performance, Angel's out here running a content calendar like she's managing a pop-up shop, and she's got the audacity to act surprised when fans and critics raise an eyebrow. Like people are just supposed to overlook the fact that her highlight reel this season could be a slideshow of outfit pics and Snapchat filters. If all-star selection were based on hashtags, she'd already be a starter. But unfortunately, the league still insists on factoring in, actual basketball. Meanwhile, her teammates are out there trying to survive the chaos, looking like they just finished tax season every time they walk off the court. But Angel, she's campaigning like it's prom queen season. The Vote For Me posts hit harder than her mid-range game. She's lobbying harder than a politician in an election year, but with less policy and more pouty selfies. There's no time to study game footage when you're too busy studying your analytics dashboard, and that's the root of it. Her focus isn't on fixing rotations, improving footwork, or elevating her team. It's on capturing content that goes viral before the fourth quarter ends. It's giving brand before ball energy, and the fans aren't blind. They're seeing the disconnect and wondering how someone so plugged in online can be so unplugged in-game.
Let me say that. One thing I like about Tyler Marsh, I listened to like some audio sound of him at practice, and he talked about taking advantage of mismatches and taking advantage of open shots.
Yes.
Look. Stop letting teams off the hook. Chicago Sky did that too much last season. Letting teams off the hook on 4-on-1 fast breaks, open threes. Nah, you come and sit down. So I like that Tyler Marsh said that. You can tell he's going to be having some accountability with made shots.
Even Coach Marsh looks like he's watching a reality show unfold right on his bench. 1 minute he's trying to regroup after another defensive meltdown, and the next, his alleged star player is mid-selfie, practically live tweeting the defeat. At this point, he's probably considering handing her a ring light instead of a clipboard. What's wild is the league needs marketable stars. They want personality, flair, someone who can bring the noise, but it was supposed to be the bonus, not the entire package. Angel's out here serving sizzle without steak, flash with zero finish. And somehow she's still acting like the all-star slot is her birthright, as if the algorithm alone will save her stat line. The funniest part? She's rallying votes for a game she might not even play in meaningfully, assuming she gets in. What's she going to do? Update her Instagram bio mid-game to reflect her selection? Because that's about the only adjustment we're seeing. The rest? Same old no-shows on defense, half-sped rotations, and missed rebounds like they're hot lava. And every time the Sky get blown out, the contrast becomes more painful. Other players respond to those losses with grit, extra hours, quiet reflection. Angel responds with a reel set to trendy audio and a "We'll be back stronger" caption while sitting out the first 5 minutes of the next game. She's turning accountability into a PR strategy and game day into a photo shoot.
I'm not a fan of Angel Reese, but I will say the hate over this is kind of crazy. Chicago Sky might not be able to recover from this because they are receiving so much hate from the fact that after her bad performance, according to her coach, she is officially being dropped from Chicago Sky's starting lineup. Now, mind y'all, I think that this coach is new. But there was a little bit of an article that said that she was pulled from the starting lineup after a blowout loss to the Indiana Fever. Now, mind y'all, they always lose to the Fever. But I think in this case it was so bad because she performed way worse than she typically does, and Caitlin Clark didn't even play. Even says that sources report that after her having frustration due to missed layups,
the all-star conversation should be about dominance. Instead, it's about who has the most loyal social media following, and Angel is milking it like a pro. She's got fans tweeting in waves, influencers backing her like she's a product launch, and somehow it's all circling back to absolutely nothing on the court. She's marketing a version of herself that hasn't shown up this season. It's all potential and performance anxiety. No results, just vibes. The league is being punked in real time. The highlight plays, few and far between. The wins, scarce. But the selfies, limitless. It's a masterclass in distraction, where the focus is so far from basketball you'd swear she's prepping for a Fashion Week runway instead of the next tip-off. And the saddest part? It's working, at least with the casuals who haven't looked at a box score since preseason. Meanwhile, her teammates are dragging themselves through another 30-point loss, and Angel's already got the post-game caption ready to go. Something vague but inspirational, probably with a sparkle emoji and the word grind tossed in for flavor. Because nothing says leadership like ghosting the starting lineup while aggressively campaigning for fan votes. And don't even mention practice. That's just a side quest now. The real work happens in front of a ring light, where lighting is everything and criticism gets blocked faster than a weak layup attempt. She's not refining her jump shot, she's refining her angles. And every time someone questions her focus, she posts something even more curated to prove what exactly?
You've gotten to work with some really great coaches, Nick Nurse, Rick Carlisle in the NBA, Becky Hammon in the W as well. What have you taken from them that you've instilled here now?
Yeah, I think just the ability to adapt, the ability to think outside of the box, and the fearlessness to do so. I think that, whether it's experimenting with different lineups or putting in a different system that fits kind of the personnel that you have, I think that you got to be adaptable and available to try out new things, because it's a tough league to win in. And so your ability to kind of have attention to detail and kind of separate yourselves from the rest of
The numbers don't lie, but they definitely don't trend. So instead, we get curated image dumps and sassy quotes about hustle from a player who's yet to hustle consistently for 4 quarters. If the All-Star Game had a content creator category, she'd be the captain, but for actual basketball, the silence is louder than the scoreboard. And now the pressure's on, because the votes might roll in, but the receipts are piling up too. If she does sneak into that All-Star lineup, all eyes are going to be on her. And not just to see what outfit she wears. People will want to know if the hype holds up, if the filters match the footage, if the face of the campaign can actually carry her weight when the lights are brightest and there's no phone in her hand. Spoiler alert, unless something drastically changes, they're going to be disappointed, because you can't shoot your way out of criticism with selfies. You can't spin bench time into accolades unless the league has suddenly started awarding trophies for clout. And you definitely can't lead a team when you're more interested in likes than layups. Angel might be winning the internet, but basketball? That's still played in the gym.